Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is CrazyPie, and in this video we are going to be talking about the best console settings within Apex Legends. This is a video that's been requested a lot on my channel, and I'm really ready to do it, and I'm really excited to tell you guys what settings I'm playing on, and hopefully help you guys probably find a better settings balance for your playstyle. If you guys are new here, please feel free down below to leave a like, as well as make sure you subscribe to the channel with bell notifications turned on so that you never miss another Apex Legends video. Over this next week, I'm going to be trying to upload a ton of Apex Legends bangers, so be ready for that with the bell notifications. But without further ado, let's get into the settings. So first off, I just want to mention here, most people have asked me how I get my colors so vibrant and saturated. This isn't actually a setting in Apex, it's what I use on my capture cards. So if you go here to video, all you really have is sprint, view shake, your FOV, as well as your brightness. The brightness is really the only thing that you can change in this game for actual making it look better in terms of actual prettiness of the game. I just use a color correction setting on my Elgato, so for everyone asking, if you want to do it, feel free to drop the $100 on the Elgato, but really it's mainly just used for recording gameplay, so I don't just use it for color correction, but it also does help. But moving in here to the actual settings, these two top ones really don't necessarily matter. I just use default for this. I mean, it doesn't really matter. And then I use button hints on, just because if people are about to comment, what are you playing on, they can just look at the bottom of my screen and see, oh, he's playing on PS4 because he has the buttons there. So just makes it easier for people to identify what I'm playing on. I mean, I have been called a hacker on PC in my aiming video, but then someone came up and stuck up for me and said, yo, if you're blind, it literally shows he's playing on PS4 on the bottom. So I just leave that on just for the video purpose. These two are very important: crosshair damage feedback as well as damage numbers. This one I play with X, obviously, because you want your crosshairs to be an X. I don't know why you would turn them off. Shroud actually said it's better if you turn it off. You know, you can have it as the normal crosshair or just turn it off, but I leave it with the shield icon on. This is mainly because if you're in a gunfight and you down an enemy that has a higher shield than you, you'll automatically know that he has a better shield than you because you have the shield icon on your crosshairs. So say I have a white shield and some guy has a blue shield and I knock that guy. You know, most of the time I wouldn't actually eliminate him, but because I can see what shield he's rocking and I can tell he has a better shield than I do, I'm going to go ahead and eliminate him just so that in the rest of the gunfight, I'll be able to have a better shield than I originally did. So I just leave it on just so it's very useful when you're in a gunfight, but it's up to you guys. Damage numbers, I use both floating and stacking. It's good to know that they float just to see how much you damage them per hit, and then you also have it on stacking just so that if you are communicating with your teammates, you know, you can just say to your teammate, hey, he's really low, I hit him for 140, he only has 60 health left, you know what I mean? So I just leave it on both. Doesn't really matter what you guys play with, I guess. Ping opacity, I just have it on faded. Obituaries, this is basically just shows, you know, kind of like your HUD in terms of what you've killed, you know, just it doesn't really matter. I just leave it on. I mean, if you don't want to see how much you've killed, I mean, there you go. For incoming damage feedback, doesn't really matter. Streamer mode, I just leave it off. I don't really stream yet. Usage sharing, no idea what that is. I just kind of leave it on. Colorblind, you can actually change this. I've seen a lot of people change it, you know, to where it is when you're in the storm, you can see easier, as well as, you know, just really depends on what you like. Subtitles, I turn them on just to see the actual character quote. Subtitle size doesn't matter. You can just turn off subtitles if you really want to. Accessible chat features doesn't really matter, and then convert incoming chat or voice chat to chat text, don't really know what that is either, so I just kind of leave that on, I guess. What really matters though about this video is the actual controller settings and field of view, so let's get into that real quick. So for my actual controller settings, the button layout is really what makes it crucial. So my button layout is evolved, and what this actually does is it makes it so your ADS is still L2, your attack button is still R2, but what it makes it do is it makes your tactical ability move from L1 all the way to X, and then it moves your melee from R3 to circle. This basically makes it, because I hold my controller weirdly, alright? I don't have my face cam on, but basically how I hold my controller is I'll use the middle of my middle finger to hold onto L2 whenever I need to get into a gunfight and aim, and then I'll use my index finger instead of aiming. I'll move my index finger up and hold both middle finger and index finger on both L2 and L1. This will make it so that I can aim as well as jump at the exact same time whenever I want. So say I'm in a gunfight, it is so much easier to jump shot, because if you use your index finger for both aiming as well as jumping, you're not going to be able to jump at the same time as you're aiming, because obviously you're going to have to move your finger. Just a little pro tip here, I really haven't seen anyone do this before, but I just use both fingers on the left side of my controller, and then I use my index finger only for shooting. There's no need to use your middle finger for that, it just kind of feels weird. You'll get used to it after time though. I've been playing in the evolved layout for like 4 years now, between like COD, Titanfall, and just other games. I'm just kind of used to using L1 to jump. It might seem very difficult at first, but using L1 to jump and crouching as your R, it's a lot easier to get to cover, as well as it's easier to bunny hop in my opinion. Most people say button puncher or bumper jumper, sorry, as well as ninja are better, but I've just been playing as this for so long that it's just a lot easier in my opinion. In terms of the stick layout, there's really no need to change it unless you like that. I personally just use it as default. The interact, I just use tap to use as well as reload. I don't really know why anyone would use hold to reload, because then you would really just have to hold square the whole time you're loading, which is kind of strange, and there's no point of holding a button for that long if you're just doing a small movement. Crouch button, this one is huge. You have to use hold to crouch if you want to slide hop. You can use toggle, but in my opinion, it's so much easier to just hold the crouch button down when you're slide hopping. So instead of having to tap it every like other 2 seconds, just hold it down and slide hop. It is so much easier. The aim button, I use it on hold. I don't like it on toggle. It just messes me up. In terms of L2, R2 dead zones, I use that on max, because obviously if you want to use it on max, perfect. It just is perfect. It's kind of like a trigger stop, but it's not at the same time. It's just perfect. You can use it as default if you really want to, or none. I just like it at max. That's pretty much it. Sensitivity, I play on 2. Obviously different. I mean, I don't like playing on the same ADS sensitivity as I do if I'm playing on regular. I use 6 as my actual sensitivity, and then I use 3 as my ADS. I don't play with advanced movement controls just because I don't really want to mess with it too much. That is where you turn off aim assist, and I'll get into that in a little bit, and why turning off aim assist is actually super crucial. The thumbnail doesn't lie, trust. Response curve, I just use as classic just because that classic respawn feel. I don't really want to mess that up too much. The looking dead zone, I just use it on none. If you really want to get in depth on dead zones and stuff, you feel free to. I just don't really care. Movement dead zone, small, inverted look off. I hate inverted look. Vibration is on, but in reality, I have it turned off in my controller, so it's on, but it's off at the same time. I highly recommend not playing with vibration. It says it's on, but in my actual PS4 controller settings, I turned it off. As well as I went ahead and opened up my controller and removed the rumbles. Makes your control a lot lighter, as well as just playing with vibration is just so weird in my opinion. It's just like, I mean, hey, if you play with it on, doesn't really matter, but like in reality, it's just better to have it off, because then it won't really vibrate and mess up your shot. Now, what I was talking about with aim assist, if you actually want to turn it off, it's not called aim assist, it's called target composition. This is basically, obviously, I'm not gonna say basically like aim assist, it really is just aim assist, but at the end of the day, what turning off aim assist actually does is basically it'll help you out when you're in a gunfight. So if you get used to playing without aim assist for a week and you become an absolute pro at playing without aim assist, when you turn it back on, you will never miss a shot again. I did this like 2 months ago, and I do this a lot in every other game that I play. I just kind of stopped doing it now because I'm trying to work on my actual shot now. But if you want to get a extremely strong raw aim in Apex, turn target composition off, play with it for about a day or 2, and then turn it back on, and you'll see a noticeable difference, trust me. In terms of brightness, I just leave it at around the 4th bar, I guess you could say, just a little bit past. I also play with the color correction on, so you know, that's obviously a lot different. For me, for the field of view, most people say to leave it at 100. I used to play at 100 for about like 3 months straight, then I moved it up to 106. I'm probably going to play it back down to 100 just because I like it better there. And then sprint shake, please turn it on to minimal. You don't want your screen to shake when you're sprinting, trust me. And then obviously for the actual master volume, sound effects, and everything else, music volume, doesn't really matter. I mean, you can turn this down if you really wanted to, but I kind of just like hearing it. It just makes it sound a little bit more intense. And that's basically that, you know. You want to obviously have your sound effects and not necessarily lobby, but you want to have your sound effects all the way up, as well as master all the way up. You can change these ones if you really want to. They don't really mean anything, but sound effects are crucial for hearing footsteps, so keep that all the way up. But yeah guys, that's basically my console settings breakdown within Apex Legends. If you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free down below to leave a like, as well as subscribe to the channel so you never miss another Apex Legends video. But yeah guys, I'm gonna be coming at you guys with a very interesting video tomorrow on how to properly drop at the supply ship. So make sure you subscribe to the channel with bell notifications turned on so you don't miss that video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace out guys.